Welcome back, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you're having good luck with your gardening and all your projects. Without further ado, let's get to today's. Sorry, I'm a little stuffy and my head's a little clogged up, so I can't think very good. All right, today's project. We are working on building a new battery management system for the batteries. So we've got our Seplos BMS here. We've got all of our wires installed. You know, when I was doing this, I did not find any videos on YouTube. No, I take that back. I found one video where somebody showed themselves wiring all this up. But I wound up getting the diagrams from the manufacturer, and the diagrams didn't match what the gentleman on YouTube was doing, so I didn't follow him. So we got our little display. It's not powered up yet. But if you follow Ray Builds Cool Stuff, you'll notice I took some of his designs, because he builds these boxes with wheels on them, and he uses the Seplos BMS. And I was trying to figure out how I could mount these things, the Seplos BMS, because on the back side, that's where all of the battery power and input and output goes, so you need room back here for the cables. And I didn't want to put it on top because it could short something out and ruin everything. And I also needed a place to put the control unit. It's just some scrap wood that I grabbed, cut up. I used a hole saw to cut these out of 2x6s. Just pop that together, and there's no metal or anything on there, so we can set it right over one of the cells right there, and the cable's long enough to reach here. And then something else I noticed on Ray Builds Cool Stuff, he was adding lengths to lengthen some of the cables on here, and I don't want to do that, because I learned a long time ago that when you start cutting these cables and taking away length and adding length, you're not getting the exact reading as far as the milliamps go to each cell. So if you start cutting lengths of them off, and these are different lengths, you're not really getting an accurate reading. As far as I know, I'm no expert. I just play one on YouTube. So I left all the lengths on, and I just tucked them all down in here, so that these can reach and plug in no problem here. So these will plug in. You got the black one and the white one. And then with the Seplos, we have actually 4 temperature sensors. So we have one here. I put it down in between the seams. And then another one here. So every other cell, basically, we put a sensor in there. There's one down here too. And one here. And then we use little zip ties to clean up all the wiring. So once this is done, I'll be able to plug this in to the inverter with a communication cable. And I cut this little slot in the foam right here, so the cable will fit in there. And then the door will close securely without damaging the Ethernet cable here. This is I don't know what this is nowadays. Used to Cat 3, Cat 4, Cat 5, Cat 6. Let's see, maybe look at the pins in there. It's like 8 of them. But who knows? This is the communication cable that came with the inverter, so it looks like it'll work with this. And then once we get all the power and everything figured out, and then we can program the channels for communication on the dip switches. This has 8 switches on it, and I think the inverter's only got 6, so I hope that's not going to be an issue, but I guess we'll find out. There's something weird going on with this thing too. It now shows 3 solar inputs. That just showed up a couple days ago, and there is not 3, there's only 2. There's input 1 and input 2. And those in parallel have 2. So I don't know where that third one came from. There's not a third plug with some phantom thing in there. So we're pretty heavily overcast right now. We're getting 1,059 watts on the main array and 259 watts on the small one. So we're still being able to charge the batteries. We just don't have any large loads going right now, no air conditioners or anything like that. Oh, this address switch only has 5 on it, so it may not be a problem. Well, we'll figure out when we get to that point. But like I said, there's input 1, input 2. There's only 2. And then there's 2 in parallel. So I don't know where that third one came from. It says there's 0.1 volts going to it. And then also, while I have this on here, I want to record this as well. Our fault record. A whole bunch of M3RX failures. Now, when I looked that up on the forums, it said something about a circuit board that was fried. And I reached out to Signature Solar last week, and I still have not heard back from them. We've got all these battery high voltage alarms too, which is weird because the batteries are not charging, so I don't know where that high voltage is coming from. It was like I had everything working fine, and then one day it stopped working. So we'll go to the settings so you guys can see what I have here, and if you see something I'm missing, let me know. I might have bumped into something, or maybe I was sleepwalking one night having nightmares about batteries, and I came out here and changed the setting, and now it's not working. Go to our discharge. Advanced settings. So that's all the settings. Go back to home. Now it looks like we've been generating a lot of power with our solar array, though. It looks like we got almost 2,000 kilowatt hours. I think that's almost 2 megawatts. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think 1,000 kilowatt hours is a megawatt, so that's cool. Maybe in 10 years we'll have 1 gigawatt. So that's all that's going on. Yeah, I don't understand where that third one came from. It just showed up a couple days ago after I started noticing the weird alarms. All these MXRX3 failures, there's a lot of them. They just go on and on and on. Same with the battery high voltage. I don't understand that. The batteries have not even been charging, so. I mean, that one says it's at 100% at 52.7 volts. It is not 100%. It's probably at, I don't know, 2 or 3 amp hours, or no, 20 or 30 amp hours right now. I'm charging them up one at a time like I did in the past to see if that does anything, and then I'm hoping this will help because the inverter doesn't know what's going on with the batteries, so hopefully the communication in this will help me with my problem, and then we can go forward from there and have all the power, all of it. I think today, I didn't record it, but at one time this afternoon before it got cloudy, we got over 10,000 watts of power coming in, but obviously it's all cloudy now, so we'll have none of that. And then something else I was working on while I was killing time earlier. I always have an issue keeping my batteries for my tools organized, so I put this little thing together. Then we can bolt it up somewhere. And it's got a little plug with the little power strip on there. So we can charge our cheap Craftsman batteries and our even cheaper Bauer Harbor Freight batteries. All in all, though, I really haven't had any issues with these Bauers. Actually, I take that back. There's a dead angle grinder underneath there. That thing does not work anymore. The smoke came out and it stopped working. I guess that was the only thing I could complain about as far as that goes. But these are working just fine. So we'll get this thing mounted on the wall and plugged in, and then we can keep our batteries organized. So charging will be a lot easier. And this is just some scrap wood. Nothing fancy. Put some reinforcements on the back of it. So, yep, there's that. Alright, we're going to wrap this up. I need to cough and blow my nose. My head's all congested. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you have any questions or comments, pop those in down below. Give us a thumbs up. Hit that like and subscribe button. And as always, keep building and try to be good to each other. Some of us aren't here for very long, and a little bit of kindness will go a long ways. So God bless you all, and peace. Maybe we'll get some of this rain. I doubt it.